I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come into this one 0-6 on the year, and really it's sort of just been one thing after another.
Coupled with they don't start very fast. The first quarter's really been an issue for them. They've got to learn to get out of the gates quicker in order to try and win some games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Red 80. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, D. Big series right here.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And now the offense for Detroit.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And Robinson with a big catch. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 50, check 50.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big run there by Johnson. 49 yards on the ground. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about...
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it, and it's picked up by the Panthers. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself as we...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. This is McCaffrey. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're right. Around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complementary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Go defense. Our time. It's our time.
Throwing is Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Gano for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Running from the gun, Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. To throw on 3rd down, Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Now Sanders. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, I'm coming. Check 99.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Panthers set to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Kaepernick to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Kaepernick now on 3rd and goal. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson, and he is going to lose yardage here. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Johnson. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. Here's Stafford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. The throw over the middle taken in. 19 yards there on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Coming this way, here we go.
Throwing again is Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gonzalez. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
A 10-play drive that time, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Now Kaepernick. Dorsett's got it. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 37. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. Nope. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot before the break, Stanford. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
Let's go.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the 22, Stafford. Jones has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Stafford now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go to Johnson again. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. No chance.
On 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they let you play.
Now Joe Mixon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Game situation. Let's go. Check.
From the gun on 3rd down, Kaepernick. Complete. It's Henry. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
Let's go.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Let's bring it. 51, Mike.
Throwing on 1st down is Kaepernick. Complete. Hunter Henry with the ground. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 2nd down, here's Kaepernick. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They were winning at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 39, Stafford caught by Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They'll run on 1st down. Johnson takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter.
Ready. Blue 60.
From the 50, it's Stafford. And the catch made by Johnson. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Kaepernick. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devon Kennard. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Kaepernick. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's the backup Greer. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Stafford. Robinson's got it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Stafford. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Going up top. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. Fourth down play. Make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Mixon with a first down carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Kaepernick to throw on second down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Stafford. This complete to Jones. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Brian Burns in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. To throw, Kaepernick. He completes it to Henry. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On the ground, McCaffrey. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. To throw is Kaepernick. And able to find Dorsett. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
We got double up, double up.
Now Kaepernick. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jarrett Davis showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Back to throw, Kaepernick. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Devon Kennard able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So Stafford and the Lions now down 24-17. 23 seconds to go. Their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down. Back to throw. It's complete to Robinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done.